Hello dear students, this is Deep Narayan Singh. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss subjective questions that are being asked by CBSE from the unit Artificial Intelligence Project Cycle, AI Project Cycle. Okay guys, so these all are the questions which are repeatedly being asked by CBSE, and if you study these questions, definitely you are going to get good idea what type of questions you are going to get from this unit. So let us see some questions on AI project cycle. Our first question is, what stages of an AI project are there, or what are the stages which are present in the AI project cycle? So there are 5 stages in AI project cycle. You have to mention the name of those all 5 stages. Let us see what are those. So you can see here there are 5 different stages of AI project cycle. First one is problem scoping. In that particular stage, we are going to find out what the problem is, all aspect of the problem, and also understand the nature of the problem. All this we will try to find about the problem, what the problem really is. Next is what? Data acquisition. So as we know, artificial intelligence, the oil for this technology is what? Data. It works on the data. So our job is then to acquire the data which is relevant and accurate. So this is our second step of AI project cycle, that is called what? Data acquisition. Third step is data exploration. Once we have collected data, we need to represent that data in multiple chart form, pictures form, so that we can analyze it properly or understand what data is trying to say, or prepare a data according to our model. In modeling stage, we try to see or write the algorithm, also try to differentiate data between the training data set and testing data set, and model the data accordingly, so can our algorithm which we are preparing to solve that problem can fit into it or work on that data. So this is the modeling part. Fourth step is what? Modeling. And fifth, that is final step, is what? Evaluation or testing. In that we test our model, whatever we have prepared, is it working correctly or not. So there are different methods to test it, different method for modeling, and also for data exploration and acquisition. In short, if we can say, there are 5 stages in AI project cycle: problem scoping, data acquisition, data exploration, modeling, and evaluation. Let us move ahead to the next question. Sohana works for a company wherein she was assigned the task of developing a project using AI project cycle. She know that the first stage was scoping the problem or understanding the problem. What is the problem? Help her to list the remaining stages that must she go through to develop a project. As we know, there are 5 stages in AI project cycle. So one first stage, Suhana already know, that is problem scoping. So you need to write only 4. In this question, we will give only 4 in the answer. Like first one already covered. So next is data acquisition. Then we have data exploration. After that, we have modeling, and then you have evaluation or testing phase. Okay, we have discussed briefly about each of these stages. Let us see the next question. Differentiate between rule-based and learning-based approach of modeling. So there are different type of approaches in modeling. One of them is called what? Rule-based and learning-based. Let us see the answer. Machine learning systems can learn from the past data एंड अडाप्ट न्यू सिचुएशन. जो भी मशीन लर्निंग सिस्टम्स हैं वो क्या करते हैं? दे लर्न बाय देमसेल्फ यूजिंग द पास्ट डेटा. जो पुराना डेटा है उसके थ्रू वो लर्न करने की कोशिश करते हैं. जैसे एक बच्चा है ना, वो अगर एक बार पहले उसे पता नहीं होता है कि चाय गर्म होती है, तो चाय के कप को छूने का, पकड़ने का ट्राई करता है. वंस ही सक्सीड एंड अंडरस्टैंड, इफ आई टच दिस टाइप ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट, then it is going to give me a sensation of burning. Then that child is not going to touch that cup of tea again. So what he learns from the past data, such type of liquid which is filled in these type of pots is going to burn my hand. Then he is not going to do that. So whereas rule-based approach system requires human intervention for any change. In rule-based learning, what happens? We actually give the rules to the machine in the form of algorithm or model on which it works. So what is the major difference between rule-based and learning-based? Learning-based algorithm learns by themselves using past data, whereas in rule-based, what happens? Human provide the rules for the model, and if you want to make any changes in that model, human interaction is required. Means developer need to give another rules to the machine to make the required change. Otherwise, it will not do. Let us move to the next question. What do you mean by machine learning itself? So wonderful question, repeatedly asked. You have to keep that in mind, study, or I can say understand it properly. Let us see the answer. Machine learning refers to the branch or division or subset of artificial intelligence. So first of all, machine learning is a subset of AI. So if this is AI, ML is inside it. That is machine learning. Fine. So this is our one statement that requires data. It works on data and a trained model algorithm or a trained model which we have created. So it is a combination of these two things, data and trained model. It learns by the data provided. That model is going to learn by the data provided and improve the performance or processes. Then as the time passes, as more and more data you give to the model, it is going to improve by itself. तो वो अपने आप में और बेहतर हो जाएगा और बेहतर हो जाएगा. जैसे इंसान है ना, हम एवेल्यूएट होते हैं, हम बहुत सारे अनुभव को लेके we are very rich in experience and then we know how to handle a different type of situation. And if we get a new situation, what happens? We try to imply all the knowledge which we already have, so to solve that situation or the problem which is available in front of us. In the same way it does in machine learning. It actually algorithm is a model is trained based on the lot of data, and when you give a new data to it, it is going to use that that feature or that essence which it has the algorithm has acquired from the previous data and tries to solve it. It applies to the labeled or unlabeled data. So if you know about the data, what data you are giving, like images, so images can be anything, but you know we are going to give table images, and we are going to give images of like chairs, or we are going to give images of humans. That is called what? Labeled data. And when you do not know what image may contain, that is called what? Unlabeled data. And make prediction. So we will read the whole answer again. Machine learning refers to the branch or division or a subset of artificial intelligence. Okay, so it is a subset or a branch or a division that requires data and trained model algorithm. ये दो चीजों की रिक्वायरमेंट है, एक तो डेटा की, इसको चलाने के लिए मशीन लर्निंग को, और ट्रेंड मॉडल की. इट लर्न्स बाय द डेटा प्रोवाइडेड, ये सीखता है जो हम इसे डेटा देते हैं उससे, एंड इम्प्रूव द परफॉर्मेंस एंड प्रोसेसेस, और अपने आप की परफॉर्मेंस को, प्रोसेसेस को इम्प्रूव करता है. इट अप्लाइज टू द लेबल्ड एंड अनलेबल्ड डेटा एंड मेक प्रेडिक्शन. ये जो ट्रेंड डेटा मॉडल है, इसको हम अप्लाई कर सकते हैं लेबल्ड डेटा पर भी और अनलेबल्ड डेटा पर भी, और उनसे प्रेडिक्शन फ्यूचर प्रेडिक्ट करने की कोशिश कर सकते हैं. Let us go for the next question. Define the term machine learning. Also give applications of machine learning in our daily life. So this is just an extension of a previous question itself. Define the machine learning. So what should be the definition of machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Fine, we have already seen. It is a subset of artificial intelligence which enables machines to improve. Okay, very important line. You just read it 2-3 times. Enables machines to improve at task with experience through data. So this machine learning enables the computers or the machines क्या करने के लिए? टू इम्प्रूव एट टास्क, जो काम वो कर रही हैं उसमें और बेहतर करें, अच्छे से करें, विद एक्सपीरियंस. With experience means when they are going to fed more and more data, so based on that data these machines become more and more intelligent. So the intention of the machine learning is to enable machines to learn by themselves. So the final objective of this machine learning is what? To make machines able or enable the machines to learn by themselves using the provided data and make accurate predictions and decisions. So if you want to understand it, you can understand it by these examples. Snapchat filters. So whatever filter you are applying, actually they are going to learn by the applying filter. So if user love it, it is going to react to it, or it is going to apply that filter for the longer period of time. So by that data, algorithm understands the result which it is shown by putting a filter on an image, it is loved by the people or not. So this is one of the example is what machine learning का क्या है, Snapchat filters. Then you also have Netflix recommendation system. While you are browsing on Netflix or hovering around, then what type of movies and documentaries or you can say web series are being recommended to the users, and they are watching it or not. So based on that data, Netflix recommendation system day by day improves as more and more number of people use that Netflix app. So once it becomes more sophisticated, then their recommendation become more and more good based on the interest of the people, so that they can the high chance of watching or spending more time on the Netflix. So these are two examples of machine learning in our daily lives. You can also have on shopping websites. If you search a particular item, you can have a multiple recommendation from these shopping websites. With them, related product are recommended, or high chance of buying, people buy these two things together. You have seen on Flipkart or Amazon, on multiple places. So they all works on what? Machine learning. Let us go for the next one. Create a 4W project canvas. Remember, this is a problem statement template for the following. In that type of questions, in questions some text is given, you need to read that text and find out 4Ws from that text. So we will read: as more and more new technologies get into play, risk will get more concentrated into a common network. Cyber security becomes extremely complicated in such scenario and goes beyond the control of firewalls. तो क्या कहने की कोशिश कर रहा है कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा टेक्नोलॉजीज आ रही हैं, तो जो रिस्क फैक्टर है वो कॉन्सेंट्रेट हो गया है कहाँ पर? एक कॉमन नेटवर्क पर, लाइक इंटरनेट। तो साइबर सिक्योरिटी जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो गई है इस वजह से, और ये फायरवॉल से इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं की जा सकती. इट इज़ बियॉन्ड द कंट्रोल ऑफ फायरवॉल. It will not be able to detect unusual activity and patterns, including the movement of data. And this firewall is also not able to detect unusual activity, like while your system is in logout state, still it is sending some data out on the internet. So these type of activities are no more detected by firewall. Think how AI algorithm can scrap means go through different websites, vast amount of data, logs to identify uh, susceptible users behavior. Okay, so what is the job of AI? We want from AI, it will go to the logs which are being created by the user search patterns, and then try to identify susceptible means sandigdh user behavior. Use an AI project cycle to clearly identify the scope and how will collect data model and evaluation parameters. So this is our question in itself. इस थ्योरी को पढ़ के आपको ट्राई करना है कि क्या क्या एवेल्यूएशन पैरामीटर होंगे और क्या आपके means all 4Ws you need to find out. Let us see the answer for this one. Stakeholders. So first we see find out who, and what does it mean? Who is the stakeholder? So people who are using new technology, they are the stakeholders. What is the nature of the problem? Issue, problem, what is the need? cyber security is the need when so much of the flow of data is not monitored or escapes the antivirus or firewall system. That is the issue or problem. Normal or conventional antivirus are not able to detect the flow of data. Where is the context of situation? The problem is in the use of latest technology where vast amount of data is at risk. Okay, so this is where. Next one is what? Why? Benefit of the solution to them. Why it is worth solving? So if you solve this problem, an effective AI system which is able to detect the flow of data and also report the unusual activity, that is going to give greater security, and that's why we want to solve that problem. So like that, you need to identify the answers for these questions. Who is the stakeholder, what is the nature of problem, and where is the context or situation in that problem, and why it is worth solving. So you need to prepare this 4W canvas out of this data given. And this is the main thing about every the whole paragraph revolves around this new technology. So you can see here you find everywhere new technology. Okay, latest technology where vast amount of data is at risk, and again you have that new technology in the answer everywhere. Let us go to the next question. Differentiate between classification and regression. So classification and regression both are part of supervised learning, and this is a modeling approach. In supervised learning, we use the labeled data. There you see classification. This model works on the discrete data set, okay, which means data is need not to be continuous. There is no need that data should be continuous. Like if you plot the points of classification data, there you find exactly the different classes in that data. Okay, so might be like this, one class, another class, and you have like one more class. Okay, so this is what a data or a typical example of classification in the graphical form. If you see the regression, it works on the continuous data. Okay, and here you find all the data points are must be scattered around. If you plot them on a xy plane, what will happen? You can easily have a line, and this data point may seems to follow that line or a straight line. That line can be followed, or a line can be drawn over the data point. So this is called what? Regression. This is a regression. Regression works on very important continuous data, and classification works on discrete data. Continuous data is something like temperature. Every moment of time it is coming, or like increment of the salary. So previous all the years increment data you have. For example, in grading system, if you go for the classification, students are classified on the basis of their grades they obtained with respect to their marks in examination. So this is an example of classification, because you have here different classes: A grade, B grade, C grade, okay, like D grade. But in regression, for example, if you wish to predict your next salary, then you need to see what are the previous increment which have been given to you, so you can make a correct prediction based on the previous pattern. Then you would put in the data in your previous salary, any increment, etc., and would train the model to find out what will be the next salary. I hope you people are able to understand, and they both are part of what? Supervised learning. Supervised learning. Okay, so there are different type of data modeling approach. One of them is what? Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement or semi-supervised learning. Let us go for the next, that is, what is the difference between training data and testing data. So once you have collected the data and explored the data, in modeling part, what you do? You do the segregation of data in two parts. So data sets are divided into two groups. in the machine learning, the first subset referred to as the training data through which you are going to train the model. So what you are going to use that training data to train the model is a section of our actual data set that is used to train a machine learning model. Second subset referred to as the testing data. Once your machine learning model is built, you need unseen data to test your model. So that second subset will be used for testing of the model. This data is called what? Testing data. I hope you people are getting. If you are not getting, just do let me know in my comments. I will try to explain these concepts again. Please do like, share and subscribe. You people are not subscribing and sharing the channel. So if you are, it is really helpful in your preparation. Do like, share and subscribe. Okay. Now see, there is an important thing to remember. Training data set is of 80% of the total data, and 20% of it can be kept for the testing purpose. So whole data can be divided in two parts. Data are also have one more difference. The first one is called structured data and another one is called unstructured data. So that difference can also be asked. You can see it, or otherwise while I prepare some more video in coming future, then I am going to explain all those questions also. Let us go to the next question. What is data modeling? So this is our which part of the AI project cycle. First one is problem scoping, and the next one first one problem scoping, data acquisition. Okay, then you have third one data exploration, and then you have what? Modeling. Okay guys, so this is the fourth place, modeling, and last one is what? Evaluation. So what is data modeling? Okay, fine. Data modeling in reference to the AI project cycle is a crucial step in AI project cycle because it helps to ensure ये किस चीज में मदद करता है, निश्चित करता है that the system is able to accurately analyze and interpret the data it is given. जो भी डेटा आप सिस्टम को दे रहे हैं वो सिस्टम उसको अच्छे से समझ जाए, बिकॉज इन कंप्यूटर्स डेटा कैन बी इन एनी फॉर्म, लाइक इमेज हो सकता है, वीडियो हो सकता है, टेक्स्ट हो सकता है, स्पीच हो सकता है, नंबर्स हो सकते हैं, अल्फा न्यूमेरिक हो सकता है. तो वट एवर डेटा यू आर गिविंग इट शुड बी प्रॉपरली एनालाइज एंड इंटरप्रेटेड by our model. This involves selecting the appropriate data to train the model, and in that modeling part it is our duty to find out the accurate data through which we can train our model, which cover all the different situations. So our model will be very much accurate while in testing or in application. Determining the feature and variable that are relevant to the task at hand. In modeling phase itself, a programmer or a person who is developing that model try to understand what are the features and variables in data that are going to affect the task which we are trying to solve using that model. Okay, like if you are studying climate change, then must be one of the data of temperature or humidity or precipitation, like glacier melting. So these data, what are the features in that? Like features, glacier melting, how much uh, water is coming out in the rivers from the glaciers, or what is that humidity, air speed, or wind is blowing in which direction. So these all are variables that are going to help or are relevant in respect of the climate change. Developing algorithms and models that can effectively process and interpret this data. And next is to develop a model or algorithm that can effectively interpret and process that data which we have prepared in the modeling stage. There are different modeling approaches, like I have already mentioned you. Supervised learning, it has two parts, like classification and regression. Unsupervised learning and reinforcement learning, they also have two parts. While we discuss in details about the learning based approaches, there we will see the different parts and their distinctions. Let us go for the next question. Neural networks are said to be modeled. Neural networks are said to be modeled the way how neurons in the human brain behave. Actually, neural network are inspired from the human neuron or human brain only. A similar system is mimicked by a AI machine to perform certain tasks. Okay, explain how neural networks in AI model and mention any three features of the neural network. So this is a 4-mark question in your CBSE board exam, because there are two type of subjective questions. Some are of 2 marks and some are of 4 marks. So it is of 4 marks type question which can be asked in the CBSE paper. So what are the different 4-mark questions that can be asked in CBSE? I am going to take a lecture and tell you most probable parts from where a long answer question can come, or the most probable part from a short answer subjective question can come. And you have you can see more videos are also available on objective questions that are consisting 50% part of your paper, so do focus on them also. Okay, let us see. A neural network are loosely modeled after how neurons in the human brain behave. They are loosely actually mimicking how neurons behave in the human brain in technology. The feature of the neural networks are: first feature, they are able to extract data features automatically without needing the input of the programmer. So self-learning ability is there. Like we have humans, we see things, observe them, interpret, analyze them, and that intellect we have in us that helps us to come to the conclusion and learn new facts about the world. So like that, the neural network can also do same thing, but not at the levels human can do. A neural network is essentially a system of organizing machines learning algorithms to perform certain tasks. It is not a single thing, it is a system of organizing machine learning algorithm. So multiple algorithms can work on that. As you know, in neural network there are 3 layers. Okay, so first one is called input layer and hidden layer, and you have output layer. You can have multiple hidden layers, and what is happening actually at each node of the hidden layer, that one uh, bubble is called what? Node. It has their own algorithm, so each node works independently in the neural network. This is what input layer, and this is hidden layer, and this is what output layer. So data is given at the input layer, all the processing will be done at the hidden layer, and output you will get at the output layer. This is the second point here. Third point is, it is fast. It is a fast and efficient way to solve a problem for which data set is very large, such as images. So normal computers cannot handle that type of data through the deterministic algorithms which we are using normally. Okay, so in that case we will go for the neural network. Let us go to the next question. Explain CNN in terms of AI neural network. So this is just 1 degree higher than the 10th grade standards students, but still it came into the CBSE exam paper. That's why I'm going to discuss convolution neural network. Convolution neural network is also a part of neural network itself. It is actually a type in deep learning. Deep learning is what? When AI is in its advanced stage, okay, that is called what? Deep learning or deep fake. Okay, so a convolutional neural network or convnet is a class of deep neural networks most commonly applied to analyzing visual imagery. So while visual imagery analysis is done, it should be done through CNN, convolution neural network. As you have seen in the traffic places, what is happening? Government had put it the cameras there, and anyone who is violating the traffic rules, these CCTV cameras are taking the footage of the number plates and try to analyze what number is written there, because it is very difficult to take an image and find out the numbers from there. So there this is one of the example of visual imagery. They are also known as shift invariant or space invariant artificial neural networks. So they are called what? Shift invariant. Don't try to give much emphasis on that, just remember the name shift invariant or space invariant artificial neural network, based on the shared weight architecture. Another term, that is what? Shared weight architecture. and translation invariance characteristic. They have applications in images and video recognition, recommendation systems, image classification, medical image analysis. Okay, like while you are taking any test, whether it may be a CT scan or MRI scan or PET scan, in all those scan, what is actually happening? A machine is trying to take an image of the body, and by seeing that image, by analyzing that image, we are trying to diagnose a particular disease in any human body. So again, image processing has a huge role in the field of you can say medical science. Neural language, natural language processing, and financial time series. I hope you people got little bit idea about these questions. So thank you very much for patient listening. Once again, please do like, share, and subscribe my channel if it is helping in your preparation. Thank you. Have a nice day. And we missed this last golden statement, that is arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is reached, said by Swami Vivekananda. So thank you. Be happy, be safe, aware, stay healthy. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.